Independent wrestling, you've got a really good mix of talent. You've got guys that are on their way up, guys that would like to go up and will never get there, guys who are on their way down.
The ultimate goal for me, as it is for a lot of guys, is winning the WWE World title.
The height of my success, I was Doink the Clown, the original Doink the Clown in the WWF. I also wrestled WCW and kind of half retired now, still wrestling a little bit.
Like all professional sports, wrestling has its minor leagues. These independent wrestling circuits, such as the Extreme Canadian Championship Wrestling, or ECCW, travel across North America and abroad into small, intimate settings. There they perform their high-flying acts for crowds of 50 to 300 people. Athleticism, costumes, acrobatics, acting and egos, this is independent wrestling.
Getting a bunch of guys together and running outlaw shows, independent shows all over the country, just in small areas, high school gyms, armories.
We run halls and legions and things like that instead of big arenas and stadiums.
You're not going to see the flashy WWE type stuff. You know, you're going to see a little bit of lights, a little bit of flash here, but not what you expect to see on television. It's kind of like a throwback to the way wrestling was like in the early 80s and the 70s, right?
ECCW, take a look at this. You're looking at the next Pacific Cup champion right here.
Independent wrestling is where guys that are going to get a contract, get their feet wet, learn the ropes, and appreciate and respect the business.
BCIT is like a training point for young up-and-coming wrestlers. To meet some of seasoned veterans, we have a mix of veteran wrestlers, along with up-and-comers, and guys that bring it from out of town to apply their trade and use this as a stepping stone to go somewhere else in the future.
Independent wrestling, if you use it, properly and are active in it, a young guy can hone his skills and try and achieve a contract with the WWE. I would think that would be the epitome of anybody's goal.
ECCW has created way more opportunities than I ever expected at this point in my career. I've accomplished so much and met so many cool people and so many people that will benefit me now and down the road.
I think it's pretty important because guys need to learn how to work. I mean, and WWE has, I'm sure they have a training center, but there needs to be other avenues for guys to learn the art of the sport.
The House of Pain, located in Surrey, BC, is a wrestling school owned by Mark Velios and taught by established ECCW wrestlers. Here, aspiring students learn the fundamentals and try to prove that they have what it takes to be a professional wrestler.
Well, as a teacher of the House of Pain, one of the things I look for is heart. That's the number one thing, heart. Because if you don't got heart, you don't want to be here. Because we see some people that are like really overweight. We see some kids that are like really tall, skinny. You know, I was really skinny when I started. So what I look for is I look for heart.
You know, I don't think we actually look at their wrestling ability first. We look at their mental capability first. We have like a weeding out system, kind of like we're going to mentally challenge the guy as much as we can. You know, see how much we can knock his self-esteem and stuff like that, and we're going to see how much he could take.
That's going to leave a mark.
Then after that, you know, we look at their physical ability. How fast they're getting the moves, are they able to do chain wrestling and flow smoothly from one move to the next move and so on? Are they able to fall well? Are they able to listen and follow instructions? That's a big thing too, right?
Someone that has that team attitude and someone that knows that it takes two to make a good match.
Statistically, 75% of everyone who comes out and tries out to be a professional wrestler quits in the first month. People come in and they think that because they can see it on TV, it's easy to do, and it's really not. And they find out that it's a lot more involved than kicking and stomping. And you know, we're not stomping our feet every time we punch someone. We're really punching them in the face. You know, when you hit that mat for a body slam, you don't spring back like a trampoline. Those ropes are steel cables wrapped in electrical tape. They're not rubber bands. So what they find out very quickly is even the most elementary wrestling is very, very punishing on the body.
The one major criticism of wrestling is the notion that it's fake.
I guess the first thing that I would say to someone that approached me and told me that wrestling was fake was, please show me how. If you can show me how to fake a body slam, if you can show me how to fake a forearm to the nose, please do.
You could have two guys go in there and they can attempt to put on a wrestling match. I dare them to make it look as good as we do. It's fake. It is a poor descriptive word of wrestling. Wrestling is wrestling. It's not trying to be anything but what it is. So to say that it's fake would be false.
If you think professional wrestling is fake, what specifically about it are you challenging? Are you challenging the moves that I'm doing? I don't think you are. Right? Are you challenging that it hurts in there? Come to an open tryout and you'll find out.
The misconception stems from the use of gimmicks and characters. Wrestlers use the outlandish personas to create plot lines and conflicts. These intensify the atmosphere of the show.
Wrestling's always been, I thought, about being a character, being a bit larger than life, and I try to make larger than life here at the independent level my character as much as I can. So that's why I take it over the top. You know, I go push it as far as I can, and sometimes I pay the consequences for it later with maybe a bad reaction from a parent or a bad reaction from a newspaper person or something like that. But I always try to push it as far as I can.
What a crack! I can't believe it.
In wrestling, just like any performance, you need antagonists and protagonists. For the heroes to be great, they must have enemies that are hated. In wrestling, the good guys are called baby faces, while the bad guys are called heels.
Thank you very much. All I have to say is this. I'm glad you people hate me as much as you do.
It's all about fan reaction. If you go out there and it's you either, if you're a good guy, you need them to react in a good way. If you're a bad guy, you want them to boo you. The worst thing is to walk out there and get silence.
Well, you know, we always ask for guys to, you know, to try to put up a few ideas of what they think they could be or they think they should be, right? And of course, we look at a person's character, his personality, his size, his shape, you know, how if he's in good shape, or if he's in bad shape, you know, and we kind of put that all together and, you know, try to find something that's suitable for him or her.
My alias is Disco Fury. When I first started out, I was a big baby face.
That's right.
Didn't know my character right, you know, I didn't. But now, I'm totally 100% heel. Wherever I go, disco sucks. I say disco rules, disco sucks. When I go to the nightclubs, that's what I am. I dance, I do all that stuff. I wear funky clothes to the nightclubs. You know, this is just me. That's just me.
Usually, whatever gimmicks work in wrestling is based on something there already. If you look, I've said this a million times, if you look at the guys that are successful for a long period of time, like Stone Cold or The Undertaker or Shawn Michaels or The Rock, that's all just an extension of themselves. Stone Cold, or someone said, it's just them with the volume turned up. Scotty Mac is very loud and outgoing. So is Scott. Popular, charismatic. It's blurry now as to what's Scott and what's Scotty Mac. Even in my everyday life, you'll hear me referred to as Scotty Mac. Probably more times than you do Scott.